Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While you have a shy, let me turn this light down. Right, hold on. Here. It's lucky. It's a little bit better. A little bit better. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While you have a shy, it's your brother IQAhmath. IQAhmath first name IQ is all the same. Welcome to another episode of DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't do that. All right. Late night hype, Friday night lights. Prayerfully, everybody's awoke. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I haven't done a Friday night lights in a little while. Um, Bayan, you on? All right. All praises, man. I forgot to hit you up. I forgot to hit you up, man. I've been moving, moving, and moving. But you on? Okay, cool. Let me get this banner up off of here because we are starting. Hopefully, everybody's well, man, on this Shabbat evening, man, and ready to get into it, man. You see the title, man. It's really happening. All you got to do is watch. It's really happening. All you got to do is watch. You might say, man, IQ, what are you talking about? What's happening? But if you've been on DSTM, you know everything is happening. It's all going down, right? We're going to cover a plethora of things as usual this evening. Lord willing, through the Spirit, man, we're going to really deep dive into some of the things that we're seeing really happening before us, man. We're talking about everything that's going to be dealing with the collapse of America, the uprising of the children of Israel, the judgment that's happening upon this place and upon the world, World War III, plagues, pestilence, economic, disasters, so forth and so on, man. We're going to talk about the monopolies that the so-called white man has lined up, where he's lining everything up, man, to establish his NWO. Well, you know what that stands for. And really, when he's talking about his global or great reset, he's lining everything up. He's going full throttle, full speed ahead. All right. No games is being played by this man. All right. And we got to be vigilant. We got to be aware, and we got to be focused in on understanding really what's going on. Let's jump over to, let me share my screen. We're going to get right to it. We're going to get right to it, man. All right. If I'm coming in clear, man, throw a 7 in the chat for me. Could you do that for me? All right. Do that for me. 7 in the chat, y'all. Do me one favor. Give me a 2 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, all praises. I see them 7s going, so we looking right. We looking right, sounding right. Good to go, man. Before I, get started, man, where's my manners at? Y'all came to the house, man. You wiped your feet. Most high permit. I gotta shout you out and greet you at the door, man. Shalom to my brother Karatazar in the house of Byron. Welcome. Come on in. Shalom to brother Carlos, man. Happy Sabbath. Ashar in the house. There you go. My brother Shalak in the house. All praises. Yara in the house. Kohath, there he goes. A frequent guest at the house, man. Door's always open for that, brother. Bayan Shakar, you got the keys. All praises. My sister Diz the Wiz. There she goes. Feet wiped. All praises. All right. So, and anybody and everyone else that's going to be joining in on the live, typically people get the notifications late. They popping in. They're going to be popping in later on. If you don't see it tonight, definitely tap in with us tomorrow. Hit that like button, man. Get this algorithm going. YouTube is really playing some real foul games on us. No, I got to share this with y'all, man. Now, if some of y'all are aware, Elder Rashab does Wednesday Words of Wisdom every other Wednesday, where he does his readings from particular parts of the scriptures. He's read all the Psalms. He's in the Wisdom of Solomon right now. He's done Ecclesiastes. So, sometimes people need something to listen to it at night, put them in the spirit. You could be driving home from work, want to listen to some scriptures. You ain't got a chance to pull out your Bible. So, brother, read from the word, right? So 2 weeks ago, on the 6th of March, we had one of his Wednesday Words of Wisdom scheduled to premiere. It was going to go up. And apparently it never aired because he hit me up the other day and he was like, "Hey, what happened to my um, Wednesday Words of Wisdom the previous week?" And I was like, "I don't know. It premiered. I could have sworn it played." I look on the history and on my notifications and it says this was just last Wednesday, I believe. It still had a notification saying it's scheduled to premiere on March 6th. Mind you, we were at what's today, the 22nd, 21st? We were at March 20th at this point. YouTube saying it's still going to premiere his Wednesday Words of Wisdom from March 6th. When? They never did it. So I tell him, I'm like, I screenshot it, I sent it to him. I said, look, they saying it's still supposed to premiere. This was damn near 2 weeks ago. Now I'm going into our YouTube channel to actually look at the video history. And the video is not even there. They took it down, they took it off completely. So not only did they not premiere it, they deleted it from our video history. This is the type of wicked games, man, they playing with us over here. And we ain't nobody. We're a small little unit, man. Designed to be that way. And we just doing our works, man. But believe you me, man, the hate is real. YouTube is shadow banning and flagging and doing everything they can. Y'all already know they took my other channel down already. That's the second or the third channel they done took down. They're stopping lessons and videos from premiering. I say we need y'all help, man, and hitting the like button. And it's not some old cliche. It supposedly triggers the algorithm, man, to notify the YouTube bots and algorithm that there's activity happening within this particular video. Interactions are happening. That's why people always say like, share, comment, and all that. If you're commenting and you're showing interaction, then it starts opening up and notifying the rest of the subscribers. Then it starts putting your videos up into keyword searches that they know other people are interested in. So if it comes down to like current events or anything involving Messenger, as long as there's interaction and all that, man, the algorithm starts shooting it to the top of the keyword searches. So my videos are easily found, or they'll start notifying other subscribers and they'll say, oh shoot, I haven't got a notification from MOTC in a long time. I didn't even know they were still active. They doing all kind of foolishness like that, man. So long story short, the hate is real, man. Just do me a favor, as y'all always do. Just hit that like button. That's all. I'm not panhandling for money and all that other stuff. All we need is continued support, sharing the video on your various platforms. Some of y'all got Instagrams, TikToks, your own YouTube channels, maybe Facebooks. Man, share it on these platforms, man. Because not only are we trying to get the word out, we're trying to wake up our people up, but you got to be fishers of men as well, and do the work that's going to be necessary for us to gather these lost sheep, man. So do your part by supporting the channel, supporting brothers and sisters out there, man, laboring and doing the work of the Lord, so that we can keep going what we need to do. All right. So all praise to the Most High. Brother Ron, I don't know if that's a question or a statement. I'm going to take it that you're saying that that's a statement, good brother. And you know dang well they can't stop this truth at all. At all, man. They trying their damnedest, though. At least as far as our experiences are concerned over here. I'm sure, other brothers and sisters that's in the truth have experienced their own elements of, hate and distaste coming from the matrix. But, hey, man, we still got to keep pushing. All right. So there ain't no stopping what we got going on. Matter of fact, let's get a scripture just to compound that. 2 Corinthians 13. And Let's look at this. 13 and 8 tells us what? For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So, as much as YouTube is trying to do things to be antithesis to the truth and to the Bible and to the lessons and to the, to the repentance and the outreach that's going on, they're doing nothing but continually help promote the truth. Because people, once people start understanding, they're saying, well, what are they trying to hide? Why are they doing this stuff? Why are they? There must be some valuable information that's coming from these brothers. So let me dig a little bit deeper. Let me really, help support. Let me keep finding out what they're talking about because obviously somebody doesn't want us to know what they're talking about. So, they can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth, man. So that's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Um, I know you didn't mean it as a question, my brother. I know you were saying it as a statement. All praises, man. All right. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. We're gonna jump in right and exact. Let me well, I said we was gonna start off in let's start off in John. Let's go to John 4. That's why I say watch. Okay. Uh let's start at John 4 and let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to get to a good starting point. But for the time's sake, man, we're gonna get right to it. I'm gonna start up at verse 45. All right. So St. John 4 and 45 it says, then when he was coming to Galilee, the Galileans received him. Now remember, Yahweh was raised in Galilee, born in Nazareth, raised in Galilee, right? He returns back to Galilee. Everybody's hearing about, the reputation of Yahweh. His fame is starting to grow, starting to raise up, right? Um, let me see if I want to start. I started 43. So it says, now after 2 days, he departed thence and went into Galilee. For Yahushua himself testified that a prophet hath no honor in his own country. So you remember, Galilee wasn't really receiving him like that. So that's why he ventured out, started hitting up all the other cities and all the other places that he was prophesied to teach repentance in. So now he's returning back to his own, place of residence where he was being raised. And now we'll see how he's being treated. Verse 45. It says, then when he was coming to Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all the things that he did at Jerusalem at the feast, for they also went unto the feast. So was Yahweh keeping the feast? Was he, it doesn't say specifically which feast it was. However, we do know, according to Deuteronomy 16 and 16, that there's three major feasts that everybody's got to attend, which is the Passover, well, all males, I should say, the Passover, uh, the Feast of First Fruits or Pentecost, and the Feast of Booths or Tabernacles. Those are the three feasts that are mandatory for all males. Um, I made mention of it just in case anybody's not aware or needs to see it in real time. Here we go. Deuteronomy 16 and 16, it says, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before Yahweh thy power in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. So not only is there three mandatory feasts for all males of Israel to attend, those three major feasts are mandatory for all men, right? To assemble, to gather. If you have the ability, you do so. And it says, don't appear before the Lord empty. You are to bring something to contribute to that feast. All right. Now, jumping back, because the Christians are running around talking about Christ didn't keep the Passover. Christ didn't keep the feast. Christ didn't keep the law. Christ broke the Sabbath. They don't knock it off with the damn foolishness, man. Here we are seeing in real time that Yahweh was attending feasts. We know John 10:22 said he was at the feast of dedication. He kept, we're not going to play them dumb games. Not over here. Okay. Uh, It says, then when he was coming to Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all these things that he did at Jerusalem at the feast. So it took the Galileans to see it to believe it. And that's Israel for you, man. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, many of our people are completely faithless when it comes down to their belief in the scriptures and the things of divinity when it comes down to the word of the Lord. We're a see it to believe it type of people. We have faith in certain other things. Even I always say, man, everybody has a certain dispensation of faith, even an atheist. They don't understand those principles, but I guarantee you, when you're driving and you hit them brakes, your faith tells you that they're going to work. You, without even a thought, you say they're going to work. I believe. Hit them brakes. After you've worked, 80 hours, you have a faith that your check is going to be deposited into your bank account. You without question, you say, yeah, when I get paid, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. Oh, your bill collector's calling you, telling you, hey man, we're about to turn off your cable and your phone because everything is all lumped together. Oh, and your internet, you got that bundle package. Everything's getting turned off, man, if we don't get that payment in. And you say, oh, when I get paid on this Friday, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna pay it. That's faith. You believe that damn electronic transfer is gonna go through from massa unto the central bank that's gonna control your currencies. See, we have faith in certain things. When these wicked J, I'm going to the club, man. You got faith, man. I'm gonna get lit tonight. I'm gonna get towed up. You believe. Without a shadow of a doubt, the evidence of things. What is the definition of faith? I don't want to destroy that in Hebrews. Hebrews 11. Evidence of things hoped for, the faith. Salakia. There we go. Now, faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So, Wicked J going to the damn club, and he says. He's got the faith is the substance of things that he hopes for. When he gets to the club, he's gonna buy a round of drinks for everybody. He's gonna do all of this. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna find me a woman. This is the evidence of things not seen. He ain't even made it there yet. He doesn't even know if they got his favorite lick, but he believes. Or when I get there, I'm gonna be lit. That's all elements of faith, even on the left hand side, right? But here we are in typical fashion. You've got our people who are see it to believe us. Man, I won't believe until I can see something, So what do we require? Signs, wonders. We got, that's what's going to wake our people up. Is it once something really big goes down, now all of a sudden everybody wants to believe, right? Continuing on, it says, then when he was coming to Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all things that he did at Jerusalem at the feast, for they also went unto the feast. So Yahushua came again to Cana of Galilee, where he made the water wine, and there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. When he heard that Yahushua was come out of Judea into Galilee, he went unto him and besought him that he would come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. Now look at this, verse 48. Then said Yahushua unto him, except ye see signs and wonders, ye will not believe. That's why I said, man, it's happening. Watch. Because our people need to see signs and wonders in order to believe. Back in 2001, 9/11 happened. Now, prior to that, we was business as usual. My first camp, our camp was called Sons of Jacob out of LA. We were doing the work as usual. Class we would have outside of our normal congregants, as far as visitors, we would have, a handful of people, man, pop up and, come to class, people on the fence, first timers and so forth and so on. We had class every day of the week, with the exception of Thursday. Monday was beginners class. I think Tuesday, we were doing like breakdown classes. Wednesday was men's class. Thursday was open, but it was, the leadership had council meetings. Friday, we had a Sabbath class. Saturday, we had soldiers class again. And then it was brothers went out, taught all day out on the highways and the byways. Sunday, we were going out to Hollywood. I mean, we was teaching every day of the week, and this is the type of fruit that we was getting. Few people pop in the class. Fast forward, man, 9/11 hit, standing room only. And we had a school that was like 2,500 square feet. Standing room only, jam packed. Everybody and their mama coming in. What's going on? Is this World War III? Is this the end? Brothers, we need answers. What? And we looking like, where have you been at? What are you talking about? Is this it? Long time no see. People you ain't seen in a minute, you thought maybe fell out the truth. All of a sudden they popping back up. I mean, jam packed. Everybody and their mamas in it. Oh, no. We be listening. We see y'all out there at Lamert Park. Oh, well, you might think we not listening. We paying attention. Yeah. We always knew your school was here. Why you Nick Bros ain't been coming? Oh, you need to see a sign and a wonder. Now you're popping up. You know how active many brothers and sisters channels were when the C-19 hit, the lockdowns, everything else. Israel was in a panic, man. The sincere brothers and sisters, man, woke up, came in, aligned themselves with a congregation or a camp or whatnot. You had some stragglers that's still out there, they still individualized doing their thing, whatever. But it was very active in the Israelite community, very active in these Israelite streets. Why? Because people were seeing signs and wonders. Now all of a sudden, oh shoot, this is serious. I gotta get right. Now that it dies off. Now, okay, camps is back doing folly with each other, debating each other, doing all kind of foolishness. Other doctrines done slid in privately underwear. People getting seduced. People falling out of the faith. Now because they think, oh, it's a little grace period now. Oh, but then guess what? Oh, October 7th happens. The bombing between Palestine and what's the name? Oh, now it's kicked up again. Now people are doubling back again. What's this mean? Oh, Israel's at war. Oh, there was another little kickoff when Ukraine and Russia was going down. So our people need signs and wonders, man. And Yahweh Shai even told us. He said, look, unless you see signs and wonders, you ain't going to believe. And that's just the bottom line. And that's coming from the king himself. Right. So we're going to see, in my estimation, a lot of signs and wonders this year and moving forward. If you ain't seen enough already, okay, because it's the awakening has just begun, and we're still getting to a point to where we ain't even hit the apex yet. But there's going to be a lot of things that go down. In particular, this year, we're only in March. And we've seen so many things go down. I mean, all you got to do is chronicle back all the DSTMs I've been doing. And you can see how everything is lining up, how everything is crashing and burning right before our face, right? Let's look at John chapter 20. And this is after Yahweh Shai resurrected 3 days, 3 nights. He comes back and he's speaking to Mary first, right? Verse 18, it says, Mary Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord and that he had spoken these things unto her. Then the same day at even, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled, for fear of the Jews, came Yahweh Shai and stood in the midst and said unto them, peace be unto you. So Yahweh Shai reappeared to the disciples after his death, popped in the midst of them and said, hey, shalom. They looking like, oh, snap. The Lord is here, right? Look at this. It says, and when he had so said, he showed unto them his hands and his side. Then were the disciples glad when they saw the Lord. So they rejoiced. They seen that he had died and resurrected, fulfilling the gospel. Showed them the markings of his hands when he got thrust through the side. Showed them the wounds, right? Now, continuing on, it says, then said Yahweh to them again, peace be unto you, as my Father hath sent me, even so send I you. So, I mean, that's an easy cut for the Trinity. I mean, how can they be one when Yahweh Shai just acknowledged that he took an order from his Father, the Most High, and he was sent by the Most High? How can they be co-jointly together? I mean, it's so much foolishness, man, that goes on within the Christian doctrine. It's just unbelievable. But that's a whole nother story. Right. So he says, as my Father has sent me, even so send I you. And when he said this, he breathed on them and said unto them, receive ye the Holy Spirit. So now, after Yahweh's death and resurrection, the Holy Spirit now is descending upon the disciples. They're now receiving the Holy Spirit, the spirit of knowledge and wisdom, understanding, counsel, might, the fear of the Lord, and righteous judgment, right? They're receiving the spirit now. Now they're being endowed with the spirit and the power to go out and heal, to perform miracles, to do the things that they were set up to do all throughout the time that they were being reared up and taught by Hamashiach Yahushua. Verse 23, it says, whosoever sins ye remit, they are remitted unto them, and whosoever sins ye retain, they are retained. But look at this. But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Yahushua came. So he was with the other 11. Thomas, not sure where he was at, but he missed out on the first sign of the return of Yahushua when he reconfigured and was amongst them. So what did they do? The other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. So here we see Thomas being brought up with the disciples, taught directly by Yahushua. They're reading and understanding all of the Old Testament prophecies. He's looking at Psalms 22, where it says he's, his palms is going to be I'm kind of you know what? Let me see. I don't want to mess the verse up, y'all. Slack you. Psalms 22. And where is that at? Psalms 22, Salakia. They parted his garments. Let me see. Oh, here you go. Salakia. Verse 16, it says, for dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. So when he's talking about the dogs, he's talking about the wicked, the unrighteous, the heathens, right? Because remember, even in Revelation 22, which we'll look at in a second, when he's acknowledging who the dogs were, he said, for the dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. So Thomas is like, look, the prophecy said his hands and his feet was going to be pierced. I need to see that before anything's said and done. Y'all talking about this, but I don't believe it. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. And you get that spirit on our people all the time. Our people don't want to hear the book of the Lord. They don't want to hear what's right. They don't want to hear about prophecy. It's like, man, if I can't see it, man, if you can't put money in my hands, if you can't do this, like, they don't want to hear about it. Here we go, Revelation 22, 14 and 15. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. So when he was acknowledging, I'm surrounded by these dogs, he's talking about those that wasn't keeping the commandments. You had wicked Israel out there. You had the heathen out there who was involving themselves in all kind of murder, idolatry. Obviously, we know who loves and making lies more than the so-called white man. The Romans, they was out there, right? So that was all part of the prophecy in Psalm 22. Getting back over here to John, here's Thomas. Doubting Thomas, as they call him. He said, man, look, they up here telling them the story. They're like, man, Yahushua came back, man. We seen him, man. We seen the piercings of his hands. We were chopping up with him. He was giving us revelation. We got the Holy Spirit on us. And in typical Negro fashion, Thomas is like, man, you niggas is lying. Hell, man, come on, man. Did y'all conspire to do this? All of y'all are talking about that. I don't believe it, man. And you know what? If I got to see that, forget that. I ain't believe. So all that time he was with him, man, he was still moving without the righteous faith to truly believe. He still had to say, man, I'm still carnal. I need to see it to believe it. And unfortunately, 2/3 of our people are going to be living in that stupor Well, they're still going to be looking around, wondering when is it going to happen. If it ain't flat out in their face, man, they're not going to believe it. They're not looking for the signs. They're not looking for the miracles. They're not looking for the evidences that Yahweh told us: wars, rumors of wars, famine, pestilence, plague. They ain't looking for none of the above. They ain't looking for the incoming new beast system that's coming in. They ain't worried about the 10 horns, hating the horse. I mean, all of this stuff. They have no idea. And as long as you got guys like Pastor Whitehead, who's tap dancing into people's pockets and purses, stealing their money, as long as you got guys like Jamal Bryant worried about cultivating weed farms and trying to bait the young men in through weed sales and I was about to say sales and smells, sales and smoke. I mean, these are the lazy, dumbed down dogs that's leading our people right now. Well, Whitehead, he just got convicted for his crimes. I mean, but we still see, Cash Flow Dollar and Taffy Dollar out there doing their thing. TD Jakes is busting it open at Diddy parties. I mean, come on. And our people are saying, well, we ain't seen it yet. I don't believe. See, that's the problem. Is our people is too caught up in waiting for something big to happen, when that's why Yahweh said that the coming of the Son of Man is going to be like a thief in the night. If you're not up, you ain't watching, you ain't paying attention, it's over. It is over. Let's look at Numbers 14:8. It says, if Yahweh delight in us, then he will bring us into the land and give it us. A land was flowing with milk and honey. This is key, because the stipulation has always been the same. The covenant that the Most High laid down, he told us what? Deuteronomy 28, 1-14. If we keep the commandments, you're going to have all these blessings. There's no need to change it. Everything has already been established. Don't do it. You got 15-68, nothing but curses. Now, if the Lord delights in us, he's going to bring us into our land, meaning what? We're going to be transported from this hellhole and from the four corners of the earth, and we're going to get our land back and all encompassing parts of the earth as it was being made for us from the beginning. But watch this, verse 9, only rebel not against Yahweh, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us, for their defense is departed from them, and Yahweh is with us, fear them not. So we see we see what it takes in order for us to maintain a righteous covenant with the Most High. Right? Continued on, it says, but all the congregation bade, stone them with stones, and the glory of Yahweh appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And Yahweh said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me, and how long will it be ere they believe me for all the signs which I showed among them? See that? See, our people even going to see signs. Our people ain't dumbed down to the fact so far down the hole, man, they don't know that there's a war going on between Russia and Ukraine. They're not so dumbed down to know that, prices and inflation is skyrocketing. They're not too dumbed down to see gentrification going on in their neighborhoods, and they're finding themselves in hard luck places that it ain't the same as they used to be. They can't be that dumb to see that the political system that they've trusted in all of their lives, rushing to go vote for the next demon to rule over them, it's pretty much faltering and crumbling right in front of their faces. They can't be that dumb, can they? I mean, the last 3.5 years or 3 years or so, having to run around with cloths on their face and rolling up their sleeves, and having to stay home, and kids not being able to go to school and all. They can't be that dumb, can they? I mean, think about it. Our people seen 10 plagues go down in Egypt, still came out complaining and saying, what, where, why, and how, Moses, did you bring us out here to kill us? We're starving, Moses. We're thirsty. What's wrong with you? Who set you over us, man? Aaron, you better make this golden calf and we're going to put you to death. You get men that organize themselves and say, hey, we can lead. Who chose Moses, man? And next thing you know, they get destroyed. I believe at that instance, I forgot the brothers' names, but it was like 14,000 of them got put to death. Right? So when we seeing all of these things happen, we look and say, well, I mean, Israel can't be that dumbed down, can they? Yeah, well, look at our history. We seen so many miracles and things that happened at that time, man. Nobody still coming out doubting, right? Uh, oh, I see you, Elder Ch. You said the next class, those of little faith didn't follow up. Well, you got that one in the chamber, man. Right out with that one. All good. Uh, yeah. Byron, you talking about the rats in the tunnels, man? I mean, really though, we seeing all this stuff go down, and our people are still looking back, saying what's going on. I want to go to Rolling Loud. How much is an eighth of weed? You know, who's got the best deal on the lean and the pills? Sisters is too worried about trying to thirst trap Jakes and seduce them and get them to pay their bills and take them out to eat and charge up their cards. And, it's just become a complete free for all, man. Most sisters are out there willingly prostituting themselves. I mean, it's a whole gambit of things that's happening within our nation. Meanwhile, everything is going down, is leading to the end, and they ain't seen it. So the Most High man to say, man, how long is the error going to be in these people? Look at verse 12. It says, I will smite them with pestilence and disinherit them, and will make thee a greater nation and mightier than they. See, the Most High was getting ready to get rid of Israel for our folly. And Moses had to remind him, he said, nah, Lord, remember the covenant that you made with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. The Egyptians going to see this. They're going to make a mockery of it, man. You can't do that, Lord. Humbly speaking, don't do it. Don't do it. Let's read Psalm 78. And man, I don't want to go too far, man. But all right, I'm gonna start at 21. We're just gonna breeze through it. Breeze through it. All right. So check this out. Therefore, Yahweh heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in the Most High and trusted not in his salvation. Sound familiar? Our people is trusting in money. They're trusting in false deities and gods. They trusting in the universe. They trusting in vibes. They trusting in crystals and stones. Right now, they're trusting in Allah and Buddha. They're trusting in themselves. Everything but the Most High. Our people is running around talking about they're not being oppressed. But I guess paying those bills doesn't seem oppressive. I guess having to pay, even if your house is paid off and you still got to pay property tax on it. Otherwise, it can be seized by the government. I guess that's not oppressed. Huh? I mean, what are we talking about? When you can't really have full control over your food and your meals because they're constantly tampering with what goes on and what's in them. That's oppression. In some states, man, you can't even have gardens in your backyard. You can't even plant certain trees in your neighborhoods. That's not oppression. See, verse 23, though he had commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven, and he rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them of the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food, and he set them meat to the full. That's when the Most High rained up manna from heaven. The quails always took care of Israel, man. As bad as we was, man, whining and belly aching and, crying to the Lord and completely faithless and, speaking down upon his prophet Moses and his brother Aaron and the Most High still took care of us. Continuing on, he says, he caused an east wind to blow into heaven, and by his power he brought in the south wind. He rained flesh upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp, round about their habitations. So they did eat and were filled, for he gave them their own desire. They were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of the Most High came upon them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel. Why did Most High do that? Because we started neglecting our power. We started getting heady and high-minded and fat and kicked and all that other stuff, just like we do now. The nigga forgot about the Most High when the stimulus, checks came in. Niggas forgot about the Most High when they learned about PPP scams and EDD come-ups. The ball was rolling, man. They was kissing and licking the boots of the so-called white man. Now they running around praising, saying they want Trump because they think Trump's going to give them stimulus. Whoever can fill the belly of the Negro and the black and the Hispanic and Native Americans, the fastest, man, the more our people is willing to worship. That's why the Most High had to smite some of our people. And that's why the Lord's going to kill 2/3 of our people. Look at this. For all this they sinned still and believed not for the wondrous works. You see that? The Most High said, man, I did all of this for them and they still didn't believe. This is why we're seeing a great awakening of our people. Don't get me wrong. I was just talking with a brother on the phone the other day. And as we was talking, I can hear in the background the brother say, "Oh, hey, shalom, brother." And the brother I'm talking to, he's like, "Hey, oh, shalom, Mike." So they get to talking just out the blue, bump into another Hebrew. And the brother was talking to him. He was like, "Man, yeah, I've been learning, and I seen your fringes, and so I know, I know I got to get right, and blah blah blah." And then I couldn't really hear too much, but then I heard, the brother was telling me, he was like, yeah, I fellowship online with brothers and messengers of the covenant, check them out, and they exchange numbers or whatever. But that's just how fast and how, this truth is moving. Just in a phone call, I'm hearing a brother just happen to bump into another brother that seen his fringes and was just, they, exchange numbers, and that's how Israel is waking up. And I was talking to the brother, I said, man, hey, I said, back in my day in the 90s and all of that, seeing another Israelite out in public was like a unicorn, man. You'd be hard pressed to see another brother in the faith or a sister in the faith. Now it's almost commonplace, especially when you run around on your prep day, getting ready for the Shabbat. So, you're always gonna bump into some Jake at the store or somewhere riding around because everybody's trying to get ready for the Sabbath. And even after all this, man, the Most High said, after all these wonderful works, man, our people still didn't believe. Still didn't believe. So, what's it going to take? What is it going to take? Let me get one more scripture in Proverbs. Proverbs 16:18, right? And this is a classic scripture. Pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. That goes for our people. At the same time, what we're witnessing now is multiple nations now are puffed up with their pride, right? Let's get to the PowerPoint. Multiple nations puffed up with their pride. They're flexing their muscle. They're carrying out various military exercises from NATO to Russia to China to Iran, the U.S., right? But look at this. Remember, Xi Jinping said that if Taiwan didn't basically come back under the banner of China and become part of the one China policy again, they were going to forcefully invade, overthrow their democracy, and bring them under the fold and under the banner of China. Now, according to the one China policy, they have every right to do so. But when Taiwan, I think it was in the 90s or something like that, or maybe earlier than that, annexed themselves and became a sovereign nation, they went under the armpits of the great whore America for protection and said, we're not going back, like an abused woman. I'm not going back. I got a new pimp. But China said by 2027, man, they're going to go full-fledged with the war, whether they liked it or not. But now we're seeing the beginnings of that. Look at this, world on the brink. As Taiwan admits, U.S. troops are now stationed on the Chinese border. See, now White Zaddy had to come over there and help. Now the U.S. has troops on Taiwan's border as they're preparing for a possible invasion by China. So now, while everybody's looking over here and we're seeing what's going on between Israel and Palestine, or to the right, we see Russia and Ukraine going at it. Now we got to look at China and Taiwan, and the U.S. has already got troops on the border. The U.S. has got ships over there in the Mediterranean, battling the Houthis and battling the Houthis and the not Hezbollah. Um, what's the cast from Gaza? Uh, I'm drawing a blank on their names. The ones from Palestine, y'all know who I'm talking about. But they got their hands full, in other words, man. So the world is on the brink. Why is the world on the brink? Because the world is expecting World War III, man. More and more, you look at particular polls, they've done so. They said, man, the majority of America believes that we're headed towards World War III sometime within the next 10 years. Everybody sees it. Everybody feels it, man. Everybody knows what's going on. Except for the Negro with one finger in his ear and the other one in his navel, scratching, asking where the dollar's at, listening to his favorite ratchet, song on the radio. American troops are to be permanently stationed. Did you hear that? American troops are to be permanently stationed in Taiwan, according to Taipei, a huge move that will likely send tensions with China soaring as its president Xi Jinping covets the island. So if anybody's wondering, see, this is what we got to look at and see. We see the turmoil that's going on with this election, man. They pretty much, are saying it's Trump against Biden. Nobody wants either one. But then you look and say, well, who's the alternatives again? Who's the backups? There's no bright spots anywhere for the voters and for the hopes of America. But again, don't let slow Biden fall up the stairs and rupture his brain where he's got to sit out and they throw in a Hillary Clinton or somebody. She's a warmonger, man. She's gonna go for broke. She already said when she was campaigning back against Trump that if she was to get in, man, she was gonna go to war with Iran. Remember when she killed Gaddafi? We came, we saw, he died, and she starts laughing. I mean, like the Wicked Witch of the West, man. Let her raggedy butt get up in there, man. All hell's gonna break loose. Trump gets up in there, man. He already said if he loses, it's gonna be a bloodbath. We're gonna get that in a minute. But we see what's going down, man. If a war breaks out, that's gonna completely shake up this whole election process. Everything's gonna go down. It might slow the process. It might give slow Biden another 4 years. They may, supposedly according to the Constitution, a war isn't viable to stop an election. But who knows, man? I mean, since when are they really abiding by the Constitution anyway? But we do see multiple wars on front, man. U.S. troops are permanently going to be stationed on guard, ready to get cracking with China any day, anytime. Who knows when? But they're not leaving. They told Taiwan. Taiwan said, "Don't leave us. Don't leave us, White Zaddy. We need the protection of the Great Horde." So Taiwan has officially confirmed that the presence of U.S. troops stationed on its islands and in the Taiwan Strait permanently, a development that could further escalate mounting tensions with China. The National Defense Authorization Act passed in 2023 facilitated the deployment of these troops to conduct training programs for Taiwanese frontline forces. So we see what's going on, man. This is why we see pride going before destruction, man. All the nations now are puffed up with their pride. It's leading towards paths of destruction. Nobody wants to falter. Nobody wants to fold. You see the GMO Jews over there. They're not stopping. They said they're not stopping until all of Hamas is completely destroyed, which means pretty much they want all of Palestine up out of there. They want Gaza destroyed and gone so that they can establish they new little not Suez Canal, but the I forgot the dude's name, but they're trying to get that canal going so they can manipulate the import exports. They got oil going on over there. I mean, they want to completely take it over, right? We know all of this stuff, but let's continue on. Look, Russia and China veto a U.S. resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. So just like we read before. When they call for peace, sudden destruction happens. That's in Thessalonians, I believe. And then you still got in Ezekiel 7 that there's not going to be no peace. See, Russia and China is like, no, 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 no. Don't try to throw in this U.S. resolution because who knows what type of slanted policy that the U.S. is trying to do in favor of the the Israelis. Russia and China is like, no, we're vetoing that. That's off the table. There's not going to be no ceasefire. Carry on. See, Russia and China want war, man, and then they out here constantly provoking and prodding and poking the Great Horde in all her privates. It's Friday Night Lights. I hope that the kids should be asleep. They poking and prodding, man, trying to agitate it to get her going. See, Russia and China on Friday vetoed a U.S.-sponsored UN resolution calling for, quote, an immediate and sustained ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza to protect civilians and enable humanitarian aid to be delivered to more than 2 million hungry Palestinians. But we see how that humanitarian aid's been going. They're dropping it off with parachutes not working, smashing kids in the head. The Israelis are hijacking the trucks, starving them out. They're over there eating donkey and whatever else they can find. So China and Russia said, no, we're vetoing that. We're not with it. The vote in the 15-member Security Council was 11 members in favor, 3 against, and 1 abstention. Before the vote, Russia's UN Ambassador Vasily Nebenzia said Moscow supports an immediate ceasefire, but he questioned the language in the resolution and accused U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield of, quote, misleading the international community for, quote, politicized reasons. So what's that tell you? They came with some old bunk ceasefire deal that was in favor of the Israelis, that was still going to be victimizing the Palestinians, and Russia and China seen right through it and said, no, y'all ain't slick. We're not doing that. We know how you get down. You're under Satan's authority over there. They're dying to be under Satan's authority, but right now Esau's got the power in the central hub of America, but they want it bad, especially China wants it bad. But the Most High has already said, man, that Esau is going to be the end of the world, man. So Moab, you can sit down and just be prepared for chains, slavery, whips, and bondage. Let's continue. Look, hypersonic missile fired from a U.S. bomber. So just like we talked about before, all the nations are out there doing their military exercises. The U.S. is out there flexing its muscle. Russia's been doing it. Iran's been doing it. China's been doing it. North Korea's been doing it. NATO is carrying out the biggest exercises that they've ever done this year. So now the U.S. is out here flexing its muscle, launching off hypersonic missiles, letting it be known, hey, our equipment works over here. Play if you want to, but we're going to see. Remember, all we need is some signs and some wonders this year, and the Most High is going to make it happen. I don't know how or what, but it's going to be an interesting year. Please believe, if it hasn't been already, for us. All right. The U.S. Air Force has conducted a full test of its prototype hypersonic missile after months of delays and similar drills by Russia and China. See that? They're trying to keep up with Russia and China. The Russia and China is carrying out their drills. The U.S. pops right back up and says, hey, my B-52 works too. They saber rattling right now, man. Having a measuring contest. You understand how it goes. Put the machismo on the men. The pride, the arrogancy, man. We trying to see who's really who's the man. A B-52 bomber took off from the territory of Guam on Tuesday and launched a missile known as the Air-Launched Rapid Response Weapon, the ARRW. Oh, the ARRW, arrow. Well, haven't we heard about them arrows before? In the scriptures. Let me get that one in Psalms. Says juniper. Slack. Juniper root. Let's look at this real quick. Psalms 120. We'll read one down. It says, "In my distress I cried unto Yahweh, and he heard me. Deliver my soul of Yahweh from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue?" What's going to happen to the liar and the king of liars, so-called white man, and his kingdom? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. The coals of juniper, like the juniper root, is like a strong rooted tree. The coals is the fire that, if you're looking at it at a metaphorical standpoint of what shoots or launches the arrow, representing the missile, right? Sharp arrows of the mighty. Woe is me that I sojourn in Meshach, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar. Well, Meshach dealing with Russia. See, sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. That's just one precept. There's plenty of them in there, man. But we could see, and Ezra calls them flying swords in Second Ezra 15. Um, the Most High, in Second Ezra 16, when he says that he's going to shoot the arrow out, who's going to be able to return it? All metaphoric. But we see what the acronym is for the air-launched rapid response weapon, the arrow. And what do they relate that to? A missile or a bomb, and that's the same type of metaphor that's being used in the scriptures. Remember in Hosea 12 and 10, the Most High said he's going to speak in similitudes. Hosea 12 and 10 says, "I have also spoken by the prophets. I have multiplied visions, and I use similitudes by the ministry of the prophets." So a similitude is similar to like a metaphor, right? So everything isn't figurative or literal. Some things are figurative in the scriptures. Right. There's reasons why Yahweh said, "He that have an ear to hear, let him hear." You got to understand these particular parables, and we see how it plays out in real time in the scriptures. So, even when it comes down to Elam and the Most High saying he's going to break the bow of Elam, and Elam would be representing. Here we go in Jeremiah 49. Elam representing Iran, because going back into, I've talked about this before. When you look at the movie 300 and you see Xerxes battling against the Spartans, and you see that rain of arrows flying up in the sky, that was the bow of Elam, or the bow of Iran, because that was their main source of weaponry. They were expert men of bow, right? And now even today, even Russia is getting drones from them. Russia's getting technology about missiles and stuff from them. They still possess it. That's why they said, man, if we break these sanctions and we get a hold of some nuclear power, we'll have a nuke up and ready in a week. Because they ready to rock. See? Jeremiah 49:35 says, "Thus saith Yahweh, the power of hosts. Behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might." See that? The bow, the arrow. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. All right, let's continue on. So this is the metaphor for this hypersonic missiles called the arrow. The U.S. Air Force declined to comment on the details of the mission, but the test is thought to be the final drill in a years-long program to develop the technology. Let's move on. Hold on, y'all. This is a little out of the frame. Let me pull this up some. I have to fix it up as we move along, man. That's how it goes. We got it. We got it. All right. Back to the mission. So look, 32 Chinese warplanes were detected around Taiwan. So not only did Taiwan get caught up, that they had to get the American troops over there to permanently guard the border and train up the Taiwanese troops to get prepared for war. China flexed its muscle and sent 32 warplanes over there and said, "Hey, are y'all ready? Because we can drop bombs right now." Taiwan's defense ministry said Thursday that 32 Chinese military aircraft were detected around the island in a 24-hour window, the second highest number this year. So they're only getting worse. In the 24 hours leading up to the 6 a.m. Thursday, the Ministry of National Defense also detected 5 naval ships operating around Taiwan, it said. So we're seeing the elements of the wars and the rumors of wars skyrocketing over there in Taiwan. So China is getting prepared. And America knows it. Taiwan knows it. The warnings is there. But are we watching? Let's continue. Up, here goes another one I got to fix. Shalaki, y'all. I don't know what happened here, but somehow this ain't fit. Okay, so let me see if I can pull that down a little bit. As that we see here on this particular article, so not only did they send the ships, right? I mean, not only did they send the planes, they're sending ships over there as well. And they're setting up traps. They're setting up traps, right? Give me, Shilaki, one second. Let me put out this oil real quick. Oops. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, so let's get back over here. Look at this. 55 Chinese sailors in a submarine feared dead, caught in a trap meant to snare the UK and the US. So they're out there playing serious war games. They got caught in their own trap. But they meant to try to ensnare UK and US ships and get them destroyed. So they're already operating on low-level games of war right now. It's just a matter of time, man. We're just waiting for that one thing to really crack and blow. So China's teasing Taiwan. They're sending airplanes over there. They're sending ships over there. Now they're out there setting traps. They got caught in their own trap, trying to provoke war, right? So it can happen at any particular moment. Something could go down in Russia and Ukraine that brings the U.S. and NATO in full-fledged war. We see the Russian prime minister, I mean, not the Russian prime minister, the French prime minister, Macron, he's out there saber rattling his ass off. I want war. We need to get NATO troops over there right now in the Ukraine. We can't let Russia win. Germany's arming up. Poland's arming up. Finland and Sweden, they joining hands with NATO preparing for war. I mean, something's got to crack. China, Taiwan, boom, something's got to crack. That don't go down. Oh, we still got hope for, Israel and Ukraine. I mean, Israel and Palestine. If that don't go down, the civil war is going to be going on. Pick your poison. Look at this. The chump. Oh my goodness. I got to see if I can find it. It just hit me in the spirit. Just remind me of this stinking broad. Look, Donald Trump chillingly warns of a, quote, bloodbath in the U.S. if he isn't elected as president again. They already are putting out the movie Civil War. They're already flooding America and setting up the spirit of dissension between the so-called migrants and the good old boys in America, which many Israelites are joining in. I'm not talking about in the truth, but we're talking about those that's not in the truth. They're already on board saying the hell with these damn migrants, man. They stealing our jobs. They shutting down our schools. They they robbing people on the trains. They stealing my scooters. You dig what I'm saying? They squatting in people's houses. They refusing to leave. That's drumming up even more. I mean, obviously, there's enmity between northern and southern kingdom, or just in general amongst Israel over jealousy because the so-called white man is in some places rolling out the red carpet, giving them debit cards with $1,000, $10,000 on there, all kind of madness happening, free health care. And Negroes over here, man, is coming out they tents from sleeping on the streets the past 3-5 years, and they saying, "Where's mine at?" That's going to cause problems. But here we go. The chump is already out here stirring up the pot. Stirring up the pot. So he's already letting it be known. Hey, if I lose, all hell's gonna break loose, man. I'm letting all my zombie hordes wearing red, white, and blue. I'm giving them the word. Get it cracking. See, former President Donald Trump has warned that if he isn't elected in the upcoming presidential election, it's going to be a bloodbath for the U.S. 77-year-old male, not male, Salaki. The 77-year-old made the chilling messages while addressing supporters at a Buckeye Values PAC rally in Dayton, Ohio. It comes just one day after his hush money criminal trial was delayed. Talking to the crowd in a red "Make America Great Again" cap, Trump said, "Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country." And you know what's so foul, man? Look at this little stinking broad, man. Hopefully I can find it. Look at this. Hold on. Look at that. No, that's not it. Well, maybe I gotta look at the article. This dirty stinking industry plant uh out in the open harlot, you know, sexy red, right? She's out here um doing the worst. I mean, Queen Ratchet, you dig what I'm saying? She was at here she go right here. Here she go right here at Rolling Loud performing, right? She's wearing the red, white, and blue, red hair, the whole nine, right? Scandalous as she ever was, and the broad just had a baby, and she's already out there ready to show herself as being a little hearted man. Great example for your kids, right? And here's her slogan: "Make America Sexy Again," which is MASA, MASA, and she said it in the damn thing. That's right, I said it, MASA. And she talks about how much she loves Trump. Too bad they don't have it on here, man. I ain't got time to find it. But the damn evil, you know, I don't even have time to really go into her. I got so much other stuff, and we're already an hour and 15 minutes in. Uh, the broad says she's campaigning for Trump under the MASA campaign, "Make America Sexy Again." Being her name Sexy Red, she's making a play on words, but she's out here talking about massa. Uh some real cool activity is going on, man. Um but that see, I was trying to find it, but it's okay. Maybe y'all can look it up, man. Maybe y'all heard about it. I don't know. But she's out here endorsing this clown. If you didn't see who the slow Biden just meet with, he just met with man, Slow Biden just met with another damn rapper, ratchet female. Is they're out here pandering votes. Hold on. Who was it? Glorilla. I mean, come on, man. You really think Slow Biden knows anything about Glorilla? Look, Memphis rapper Glorilla meet. Get out of here, man. Damn ads. Memphis rapper Glorilla meets President Biden during a visit to the White House. Yeah, Joe. Here goes another little ratchet broad. You understand what I'm saying? They're out here pandering to these damn. This is how stupid they think our people are. So, Sexy Red is endorsing Trump. Glorilla is endorsing Slow Biden. I mean, if there's any more foolishness around, I can't call it. You know, damn, they had lost for words. Jeremiah 4:22 says, "For my people is foolish; they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." All them bras know how to do, man, is make it clap. You know, talk about the most ratchet stuff they can on some albums, man. Openly promote themselves to our women. Now they're being used as pawns in this political game, being led astray by these damn devils, man. They have no idea. No idea. And he's out here plotting for a damn he's out here plotting for a bloodbath. You feel me? Let's move on. Trump fails to secure a bond for $454 million, a judgment in the civil fraud case as asset seizures loom. They're trying to get rid of him. They're trying to either break his pockets. If they can't do that, they're trying to seize his assets. They're trying to take down that Trump Tower building over there in New York. They're trying to get everything they can. He's going to limp into the presidential nomination in November, broke, busted, and disgusted. And then he's saying, look, if I still got the populist vote, everybody's going to know. And if that still don't get in, this is the second time they done stole it from me. You know what? Everybody's got get out there and tear stuff up. Bloodbath. You dig? So this is what he's up to, man. They trying to break him. They trying to see that if they can break his pockets, hopefully he just falls out the race because he won't be able to finance his campaign. But look, I didn't even have this prepared, but let me see 3. They're hoping that he goes broke, right? That ain't going down. Trump is about to get $3 billion richer after a deal is approved. Billionaires are cozying up to Trump. It's backfiring on them, man. It's wild. They trying their damnedest to get rid of this dude, man. But Esau, man, is not going to let their savior fail. Not again. Billionaires are standing behind him, man. They're not going to do it. I told you, man. I seen an ad on YouTube, man. This dude was out here begging for change. That was the first time I seen Trump on begging, having ads begging for money. This dude was like, "Yeah, I need to get this campaign cracking. If you got $5, $10, $100, anything to help, But hey, if you got to pay your bills, you got to take care of your family. I don't want you to donate. That comes first. Take care of your families. But if you got any extra change, slide it over to me." I don't know if anybody else seen them ads on YouTube, but I had an ad came. I've only seen it one time. I ain't seen it again. But man, this dude was out here panhandling. I ain't never seen him do that. But he's got backing. So they trying to get rid of him, man. But these Edomites gonna come to his rescue. And if it don't go his way, you already heard him. So be prepared. Nation rising against nation. Civil war at jumping off, sedition amongst men not being able to go into a city and not be able. It's all, the stage is already set. We already see the whole collapse going on over there in Haiti. Cuba's got it going down. They've already been doing it in Central America, South American countries, i.e., Venezuela, Argentina. It's going to become the norm, right? So let's continue. The White House pounces on Trump for unhinged anti-Semitic rhetoric after he says any Jewish person that votes for Democrats hates their religion. Now you see how they make headlines about this, man, and they come to these damn GMO small hats rescue. But what happened when Slow Biden popped out and he said, "Man, if you vote for Trump but not me, you ain't black"? Where outside of the the somewhat conscious communities in black and Hispanic circles, there wasn't no major news outlets jumping to the defense of Negroes talking about, hold on, Joe, that sounded pretty racist to me. What are you talking about? That you can dictate when somebody's black or not just based upon a vote? Anybody remember the news articles jumping out calling Slow Biden out on his BS? Anytime it has to do with the little small hats over there, man, they roll out their their media whores to get out there, man, and constantly step to them. Remember, we still don't know what was going on in them damn tunnels. Bloody mattresses and all kind of folly going on under there, man. And what it do? Get swept under the rug, man. One damn heathen popped out and said, "Hey, it's anti-Semitic to be talking all this tunnel stuff. You guys better calm down." All of a sudden, everybody's quiet now. Nobody wants to talk about them damn tunnels. Who knows what was going on in there, right? So now they the hypocrisy is just unbelievable. Look at this. UN says famine is imminent in northern Gaza as Israel launches another raid on the main hospital. So Yahweh told us famine is going to be in the lands. The prophets have to prophesy against many kingdoms, against famine, against war. We're seeing it all evidently here. I mean, really, when you look at it, man, global famine is already present. People are waiting because you can still go to where shit nowadays, man, you can't go anywhere and really get a deal. Okay, hey, you can still go to Little Caesars and get a hot and ready for, is it still $5 or $7? As long as you can still get that. As long as you're getting coupons in the mail saying you can go get two Whoppers for $5 or whatever the hell. People don't think that it's a damn famine going on. As long as the 99-cent store is open for now, because they are closing. You seen the story last week, Dollar Generals, I think 100 of them are closing up. Yeah, famine is already cracking. You know how many third world countries that's out there that's starving, man? India, they starving over there. Africa got a number of different countries that's impoverished. The Middle East got a number of different countries that's impoverished. Haiti. I mean, you've got places like in what's the name of that reservation over there in North Dakota? Pine Ridge, I think it is. With the I think it's the Crow over there. They are pretty much the most impoverished city or landmass in the U.S. At one point in time, their annual income was $7,000, and that's on the reservation. So let's talk about famine is already here. So when Yahweh said the famine is going to be here, it's already globally happening, right? Remember what happened when they the little outbreak with the C to the OVID. Remember all them food banks? People was lining up in cars miles long waiting to get some food. People running to the damn stores, stocking up on toilet paper. Meanwhile, the cupboard is bare. Let's continue. Protesters take to the streets in Cuba as lights go out across the island. Look at that. So not only are we talking about what's going on in Gaza and their issues, but right here, Cuba has been going through a serious crisis of famine and lack of power for a long time now. Protesters took to the streets of Cuba on Sunday in a rare outburst of social unrest as a fresh wave of blackouts exacerbated tensions on the Catstrap Island. Social media posts showed crowds of people in Santiago de Cuba, the second largest city on the eastern part of the island, chanting Corriente y Comida, power and food, as police looked on. You ain't got to look far to see the collapse of this place. Venezuela, man, in various parts of Venezuela, they're rationing power and water daily. Every day in particular cities, man, they turn on the water for 20 minutes. And they go over there and they stock up barrels of water to last them for the day. That's for bathing, that's for cooking, that's for cleaning. As much as you can get in 20 minutes, that's your max for 24 hours until the city comes back through and turns the water back on again. They do the same thing with the power. That's coming here. I've been telling Jace this since 2013, 14. Aladad knows. Aladad was like, you've been telling us about watch Venezuela for damn near 10 years. I said, yep, you see it now. Now America's breaking down. Now America's out here panhandling. All the stores is closing. Inflation is rising up out of control. Now they're over there paying for haircuts and stuff with little flakes of gold because the money's no good no more. Well, look at the value of the dollar. Look at what's happening with the crashing of the dollar. Look at gold right now. Look at the price of gold. The gold is up there, man, at record prices right now. So when it, I think gold is like $2,170, something like that. It's at record price, whatever it is. You saying, man, it's going to take 2,000, let's just say 2,100 pieces of paper to equal one little coin. Like, look, this place is fried. And over there in Cuba, there's just an example of the fall of Western society under the banner of the Great Horror, because Cuba is under the bannership of America. Even though they're communists, they still depend on Esau for every damn thing. Right? So Cuba's got it going. Cuba's got it bad right now too. Let's continue. Over 100 migrants break through razor wire and knock down guards as they illegally cross El Paso border in a wild scene. The zombies, as Aladad likes to call he loves the zombie movie. That's essentially what we're talking about, Walking Dead. When you see that thumbnail, that was the scene of them trampling and rushing past the National Guard. But that goes back to the scriptures. We just quoted it over there, 2 Ezra 15. I mean, people don't give a damn about authority and who's in their way, man. They trying to get to the food. They trying to get to the money. See that? Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're coming over here, man, completely entitled. They're being told that, man, pots of gold is waiting for them, 2-story homes, cars is waiting, jobs is on deck. Don't let anybody get in our way. And as you go, we're going to empower you with the power to vote. Remember, Joe Biden did this for you. Remember, Joe Biden, say it back. Joe Biden. They're going to say, okay, you got that? They're going to tell the Gooksman, the Moab. Say it with me. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. They telling the Haitians, say, Joe Biden. Everybody make sure Joe Biden did this for you. Yeah, take this card, take this phone, take this bus ticket. Yeah, and when you get to the city, don't worry. We're going to have places set up for you. You're going to be able to sit down, eat, use your phone, and call your loved ones. And we got debit cards lined up for you that you can, spend. We're going to reload them every month. Buy what you want. They not taking no for an answer no more. A group of over 100 migrants attempted to enter the U.S. illegally by rushing a border wall Thursday. So they're not even trying to, risk drowning in the Rio Grande anymore. They ain't trying to, slide under fences and hopping wall. They like, man, we going straight to the damn border wall and we bum rushing this place. Breaking through razor wire and knocking over guards in the process. The Post had earlier witnessed around 600 migrants massed at the international border as part of a spring surge of migrants hoping to gain access to the U.S. The Texas National Guard was attempting to organize them into smaller groups, but the situation grew tense after some women and children were separated from adult males by the guardsmen. Wonder what they were going to do with them. What were they going to do with them women and children, huh? Why are they taking them away from their men? Video taken by the Post showed one set of migrants, mostly single men, then rushing the Texas troops. A group of men with hoodies, gloves, and winter jackets have been seen pulling fencing away and clashing through the concertina wire as a group of 5 guards stood in defensive formation to fill the gap. Let's continue. Look, Texas cops say they won't enforce Governor Greg Abbott's bill ordering them to arrest illegal immigrants, even if it goes through, as it is blocked again in the latest round of legal whiplash. Texas was trying to pass a law so that they can have police departments and National Guard and all of them, sheriffs have the ability to lock up and stop migrants to protect their quote unquote border, which it ain't even theirs. But that was what they had on deck. But we just see here the divide within America, which is beautiful. Because what Yahweh Shai told us, man, the kingdom divided against itself can't stand. So if the governor's putting out an order and they say, look, we're empowering the police. You guys have the power to stop the migrants that they coming through, man, arrest them, detain them, do what you need to do. And now the chief of police is like, we ain't doing that. Nope, we letting them through. But Governor Abbott, he's got beef with Slow Biden. Slow Biden wants the borders wide open. He wants them to come in so they can vote him in, so that they can be a new armed police force, so that they can be recruited into the armies and get prepared for World War III. Because they know, as we know, U.S. recruitment is down. A lot of the youth, man, they can't pass the physical fitness test no more. They've been sitting on their ass too much, man, in the basements playing PS4 and PS5. You understand what I'm saying? Ordering pizzas and Uber Eats and everything else. If anybody's seen that movie WALL-E, they basically got, robot drones, man, were running the whole damn earth. And all of the humans, man, are sitting back on the damn island or a ship. And they're all fat as hell with headsets on and watching TV in the VR world. That's essentially, man, what the damn youth is right now. They said, man, they can't pass a damn physical fitness test. The motivation is down. That's why they out here recruiting women. They saying, man, we'll take the Transformers, whoever. Come on. That's why they're saying, well, you know what? We're going to have to go ahead and recruit elsewhere. Let's get these migrants up in here, man, and let's go ahead on and empower them so that they can pledge their allegiance to the horde and get out there and lose their life. So divide is here, even within their own quote unquote Texas. Chief of police says, man, we're not following those orders. That's out. Look at this. LA battle spat of burglary tourists as marauding gangs from Chile, Ecuador, Colombia, and Peru jet in on 90-day visas and ransack millionaire mansions before fleeing back to South America. So there's a whole lot of flocking going on, coming from quote unquote migrants coming from South and Central America, breaking into homes, robbing these homes, man, and jetting out back home down to Ecuador, Chile, Colombia, Peru. Right? Look, and meanwhile, they're increasing the laws and trying to get us not to be able to protect ourselves in your homes and your families and your loved ones. All these gun restrictions, man, starting in July, they're getting ready to do I think it's 11% increase on taxes. If you're buying a gun, if you're buying ammunition, basically going to be paying double the tax. It's going to be like 21, 22%. If you're buying any of those things, no other goods and services is getting hit with that. Right? They got all kind of different gun laws, man, that they out there changing, man. They're trying to really corrupt the so-called Second Amendment. And meanwhile, they out here saying migrants, they can have the straps. They can buy the guns, man. Watch this. They raiding homes, man, doing their thing. Look, even Paul Pierce got robbed. Former NBA star Paul Pierce, LA home was robbed of luxury watches at $100,000 as Hall of Famer becomes the latest celebrity victim amid a wave of burglary tourists in Southern California. You know how far that $100,000 in cash, and they stole his safe? They bust that thing open, they sell them luxury watches. They're gonna be living high on the hog going back to Chile, Ecuador, if it was them. It could have been one of these little gremlin Negroes, man, that running up in flocking houses. Who knows? They just blaming it on burglary tourists. But it's these Negroes in these hoods, man. They've been running up in people's houses. So we don't know, but all we know that there's a lot of break-ins and a lot of people are desperate now that PPP money's dried up, EDD's dried up. You dig what I'm saying? All the little internet scams and the swiping and the scamming and all that's drying up. They trying to get at people's credit cards and say, hey man, people's credit cards is already maxed out because that's what they've been trying to survive off of because they lost their jobs or inflation that came up. So they're trying to get on people's cards. That ain't working because there ain't no money on people's cards. So what are they relying on, man? They're going for what they know. Going for what they know. Look, undocumented immigrants have a right to own guns, the judge rules. Now hold on. They can be undocumented, man, but here you go, especially in California, they document every damn thing. You can't fart without them saying we need a background check on that smell. You understand what I'm saying? We need to make sure we got everything documented, logged in, and that you're able to have this firearm. But here you go, some undocumented cat comes right over here, man. He gets to strap up. That's why it's gonna be. That's why when the chump Agent Orange is saying it's gonna be a bloodbath, people's gonna just completely give up on the quote unquote American dream. Remember, the evangelicals all saying that he's the savior. He on record said, "I'm the chosen one." So now, if Babylon rejects him, and they already are still belly aching about saying 2020 was stolen, if they double back and do it again, they already have lost complete faith in America, man. It's a wrap. They're going to say, we got to take it back ourselves by force. And we got all these migrants up in here, and we got all these quote unquote illegals. They're raping, they're robbing, they're pillaging. They all strapped up, so we can't trust them, man. If they reach for anything, shoot to kill. You follow? So this could be very dangerous. Very dangerous. But we'll see. Let's continue. Look, U.S. warns of cyber attacks against water systems throughout the nation. So not only are we already having issues with the water systems, now they're talking about cyber attacks. How long have we been talking about that? Jumping all the way back to Klaus Schwab, talking about, remember, I played the video a long time ago. Imagine the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack that can make the COVID-19 look like a minor disturbance. Remember that? And now we're seeing all kinds of cyber attacks happening this year and before. So now they're talking about cyber attacks happening to the water systems throughout the nation. The Biden administration is warning states to be on guard of cyber attacks against water systems, citing ongoing threats from hackers linked to governments of Iran and China. Disabling cyber attacks are striking water and wastewater systems throughout the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Michael Regan and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan wrote in a letter to governors made public Tuesday, these attacks have the potential to disrupt the critical lifeline of clean and safe drinking water, as well as impose significant costs on affected communities. So now the water systems is under threat and under possible attack. Remember I said from the beginning, title of the video, it's happening. Are you watching? Or watch, I should say. Look, over 140 House Democrats demand ability to block veterans from purchasing guns. Oh, so the undocumented, they can get the guns, but veterans, oh, hold on. Got to stop them from getting guns because they're going to be a big part of the quote unquote bloodbath that, Agent Orange is talking about. The chunk. More than 140 House Democrats are demanding that the ability to bar veterans from gun purchases / ownership under certain circumstances be added back to the Military Construction Veterans Affairs and Related Agencies Appropriation Act. They got no problem with the Transformers running around there buying up guns, doing mass shootings. Moab out there buying up guns, doing mass shootings. That's all fine. Background checks on these crazy, mentally deranged individuals, man. They getting their hands on stress, man. But a veteran, no. Undocumented migrant, you can have it, but oh no. See, this is where they're gonna cause all of the friction, all the divide, the racial wars. Because we know that scripture that's gonna happen. Race wars is in the scripture. It's gonna go down. What we're documenting is what's gonna cause it. All right. So we see all these things. Let's move on. Look, if a house is not inhabited, seize it. Venezuelan migrant shares TikTok telling illegal immigrants how to invade American homes and legally squat in them. So they're utilizing social media to seize these homes, man. Elder Aladai, we was just talking about it, I think a week or two ago. Chicago got a bunch of abandoned, homes and buildings, man. He said, man, his wife was just out there 2 weeks ago. They talking about, man, they moving up in there. And they would, especially during the wintertime, they will not remove them because it's too cold. You can't put them out on the streets. Ain't nobody in the house. They like let them stay there, man. Once it warms up, then we'll go see if we can get them up out of there. But they moving in, man. And this dude, Lionel Moreno, he's gotten millions of views on his TikTok, man, instructing everybody how to get in on the squatting and go get you a house. Now imagine, man, the owners got to go back, man. They got to evict. They got to go through all the problems, man. They're going to just come back and start shooting. Who knows? But they're spreading the information, man. It's going to be a problem as we continue on. Let's move on. Gang ravaged Haiti is real life Mad Max on the brink of complete collapse. You ain't seen Mad Max, the movie? Go see it. Precious things was water and gas. Everything else, society completely collapsed. The gangs ruled everything. Survival of the fittest is similar to the Book of Eli. But Mad Max is way more hardcore a little bit. Book of Eli was more spiritual, but it did show you the evidences of what happens when post-war, post-collapse, was going down. But they're already saying, man, Haiti is like Mad Max. You want to know what that is? Go look at the movie. It's over with over there. Let's continue. Slow Biden moves to kill the gas car. White House unveils a climate edict aimed at slashing sales of internal combustion vehicles by 2032 in favor of EVs and hybrids. Oh, but he can roll around in his nice little Corvette, right? He can roll around in the what they call the Beast, the presidential car, bulletproof car, and all that. That's all gas. That ain't EVs, right? But let this demon in, man. This is what he's got laid down the pipeline. California, they already said, man, they get rid of all of the gas-operated equipment, lawnmowers, leaf blowers, scooters, anything that's gas-related, man. They already saying by 2025, that's out of here. They ain't selling generators no more. That's gas-operated. They already stopped selling this stuff. So imagine that. Now he's talking. Remember, it was 2030 at first. He said he was trying to get rid of all gas, but he knew he had to back it up because they didn't have enough lithium for the electric cars and all of that. So he said, "Yeah, we might have to delay it a little bit, but we're still on track." So we see his agenda. He wants you out your car, out your house. He wants every damn thing. So there you go. 2032. Retail bloodbath continues. Best Buy shuts down another 10 stores just this month. Macy's, Walmart, Dollar Tree, Rite Aid, they're all plotting more locations to be closing. But Slow Biden says the economy's never been better. Under his watch, man, the economy's been booming. Everybody's balling. What? Huh? There's been more stores closing, more banks closing, more businesses shut down, more um, vacant commercial buildings than ever. So the spiral continues. Bloodbath, Best Buys, Walmart, Dollar Tree, they're all shutting down. Look, everyone is panicking. Major cocoa processor scrambles to find beans as prices hyperinflate. So cocoa, that's becoming an issue. They're talking about people panicking. They're running out of supplies, can't afford to sustain their businesses because of hyperinflation. You know, a lot of these things come from South and Central America, the Orient. They're already experiencing high inflation rates. Cost of doing business ain't adding up. So another industry in trouble. Earlier this week, Meta was down. Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, all got hit with an outage. That's becoming more frequent, right? Damn near every month, some of these apps ain't working. Somebody's tapping in, hacking. Somebody's got an outage going on, right? Look at the pastor paid a hitman 40 racks to shoot his daughter's boyfriend, police say. Good old pastor, man. If you ain't got Pastor Whitehead, you know, over there in Brooklyn, man, robbing old ladies and robbing his parishioners. If they ain't in the Catholic Church, man, soliciting to the young boys in there, you know. If you ain't got the nuns over there in the Catholic Church, man, robbing the Catholic schools and using the money to go gamble with. Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah. That went down in the Catholic school out here. You got the pastors out there, man, paying off hitmen to go kill their daughter's boyfriends. 40 racks. Where do you think that came from? You think that was from his own private stash of hard work? Or you think he got that money from the church? Imagine that, man. California police say they have arrested a pastor on suspicion of attempted murder, charging that he paid nearly $40,000 to have his daughter's boyfriend shot in a murder for hire plot last year. Police in Riverside, California arrested Samuel Pasillas, 47, whom they identified as pastor of a Spanish-speaking church congregation in Victorville, about 40 miles north of San Bernardino, as well as Juan Manuel Caballeros, 55, along with as part of their investigation, they said Tuesday in a news release. Pastors putting out hits, man. I mean, all hell is breaking. This is a wrap. I'm gonna cover two more stories and I'm gonna close out. I got some other stuff, but I'll say that. I'll save it for another day. But look at this. I wanted to bring this point up. Global fertility rate to keep plummeting, major study warns. Now, we talked about their desire, the so-called white man's desire to selfishly, obviously, want to maintain control of the earth. His ideology is there's too many people, man. We got to consolidate, get rid of the useless eaters so we can enjoy the earth to ourselves. The ideal number for them is 500 million, according to the Georgia Guidestones that they destroyed. What was it, like 2 years ago? Their whole commandment and everything else was written on the Georgia Guidestones. They was talking about they want the population to be down to 500 million. That's a manageable population that they can, you know, regulate and control useless eaters. Well, the population is damn near 8 billion right now, right? So that means they got to get rid of 7.5 billion people. And they're utilizing various ways through disease, injections, poisoning of the food, water, so forth and so on, affecting fertility. I did a whole class about that years ago, at least 3 years ago or so, regarding different elements of the Scrabble gang or the alphabet people and their agenda. And part of it was under what's known as the Jaffe memo, which was done by the head of Planned Parenthood, which was submitted to the government as their ideology on how to consolidate the family. They were going to promote homosexuality. They were talking about putting sterilants in the water to increase infertility. and men. They were going to reward, women for not having men in the house. I mean, all kind of stuff was in this particular memo. It's on that class, man. Y'all gotta, if you ain't seen it, you gotta go look on the channel, search it. I believe it's called a Scrabble Gang. Use that as the search if you ain't seen it. I cover a lot of stuff in there. But if you're talking about population control, things like State Memorandum 200, written by the late great demon Henry Kissinger, where he said they were going to use food and vaccinations as a weapon to control populations, right? We're seeing all this stuff happening, and it's all working. Global fertility rate to keep plummeting. We already know the so-called white man is dying off faster than he's able to repopulate. His seed is already spoiled, as the scriptures pronounced. They're trying to make sure everybody else is compromised. That's why you see all these interracial commercials. That's why they're constantly trying to promote everybody oneness. Oh, it's just a vibe. That's what my brother Hezekiah we were talking about the other day. The youth now, man, they out here talking about being open to anything. Oh, it's just about a vibe. Whoever you get along with, doesn't matter if they're the same sex, man. Doesn't matter what they into. Try anything. I mean, this generation is jacked up. We just seen what did they say? One out of every what did it say? 30%? 30% of females now of Generation Gen Z, identify with the Transformers. They're all Decepticons now. 30%. 3 out of every 10 say, man, I'm over here confused. So look, the population of almost every country will be shrinking by the end of the century. A major study said Wednesday, warning that baby booms in developing nations and busts in rich ones will drive massive social change. The fertility rate in half of all nations is already too low to maintain their population size. An international team of hundreds of researchers reported in The Lancet. Let me leave y'all with this, because it's late and I know information overload could be heavy. Some of y'all got to double back and watch it again tomorrow. But look at this. I made mention of this book a few weeks ago. I said I'll share it again. This is a book called Ecoscience, Population, Resources, and Environment. This is from page 27. No, so like 7. I think it's 776 to 778, but this is 777. That's right. That's a 7. Is that big a book, right? This is a particular section in regards to population control. This is a book from 1977, and John P. Holdren, which is this guy, I forgot what position he held within the government. Let me look up real quick. He was I think the science czar for the White House. I think he was a science czar for the White House. Let me see. Yeah, here you go. There's one of the demons of Gray Whore right here. John P. Holdren is an American scientist who served as a senior advisor to President Barack Obama. Science and technology issues through his roles as assistant to the President of Science and Technology, director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, and co-chair of the President's Council of Advisors in Science on Technology. So when you're talking about the wisdom of T-Man or T-Man and who these types are, he's one of them. He's one of them. When you talking about the wisdom that came out of the strongholds of T-Man, where the so-called white man's knowledge and wisdom and witchcraft was stemming from, he's a descendant of him in the spirit. John P. Holdren. Big on science and technology. Brainiac in the think tanks, right? Serving under Obama, wrote this book in 77. He's always had his ideology. Population control. What does he say? Adding a sterilant to drinking water or staple foods is a suggestion that seems to horrify people more than most proposals for involuntary fertility control. Did you hear that? This is why the so-called white man is a devil. that the Bible speaks of, man. People always say, man, you guys are going too extreme. Why are you calling them a devil, man? That ain't right. You guys are racist. I mean, you got to be a damn devil and a demon, man, to even think about stuff like this. See, it's hard for us, man, being a righteous people, being innately spiritual, right? To put our minds into these particular frames of thought to think, how can I wipe out entire generations, man? How devious can I be to seduce and destroy and kill and maim? And you got to be wicked, man. You got to put your mind into that frame, man. The so-called white man does that naturally. Now he's talking about involuntary fertility control. What did he say to do? Adding a sterilant to drinking water or staple foods. What are staple foods? Grains, you know, uh, uh, proteins, things that everybody is going to partake in, carbohydrates, bread, anything. Staple foods that everybody's going to utilize and eat. That's where you see the uprising of the GMOs, food, so forth and so on. Remember, this is written in 77. So the technologies and the things that already cooking, man. Already cooking. Adding a sterilant to drinking water for staple foods is a suggestion that seems to horrify people more than most proposals for involuntary fertility control. Indeed, this would pose some very difficult political, legal, and social questions, to say nothing of the technical problems. No such sterilant exists today, nor does one appear to be under development. Remember, this is 1977, and when he speaketh fair, believe him not, because there's 7 abominations in his heart. Thus saith the Lord, never trust thy enemy, because as iron rushes, so does his wickedness. It's guaranteed it's going to happen, right? So he's talking about, oh, we don't have anything on deck. All this dude does is develop science and technology to destroy. He knows it did. He said, basically, he was like, man, I just got to find me a politician, man, that'll roll with the program. Nor does one appear to be under development. Look, to be acceptable, such a substance would have to meet some rather stiff requirements. It must be uniformly effective despite widely varying doses received by individuals, and despite varying degrees of fertility and sensitivity among individuals. It must be free of dangerous or unpleasant side effects. Also, you can't know that this is what caused your cancer. You can't know, or you can't figure out where did this particular thing come from. How come I got ED and I'm only 28 and I'm already getting prescribed Viagra? You can't figure out how come you're having so many damn miscarriages, sisters. Oh, why you got the fibroids? Why you got all these damn issues going on internally with your reproductive system? They say don't have any side effects, so they can't trace it back. Who's gonna think it's in the water? Who's gonna think it's in the foods? Oh, they trust us. Then we just get to talking about, oh, be prepared for a cyber attack on the water supply system. They already got the boogeyman lined up. Oh, it was the Chinese, it was the Iranians. When they are readily admitting we're already been plotting and planning and already been sterilizing and jacking up your water. Just ask Flint, ask Mississippi. They've already jacked up the water supply in various places, man. I just showed an article last week about all of the states whose water supplies is compromised. It's pretty much every state. I mean, come on. Let me finish this up. It must be free of dangerous or unpleasant side effects, and it must have no effect on members of the opposite sex, children, old people, pets, or livestock. Back to the article at hand. Global fertility rate to keep plummeting, a major study warns. And what are they doing? They're acting like they're just scratching their head. We don't know why. Oh, we don't understand what's going on. Why are there so many deaths? And I mean, look at what's happening after people got poked in their arms. All of the heart issues that's happening, all of the miscarriages that's adding up. That the World Health Organization, all of them is all finally coming to the table saying, yeah, we didn't tell you about these side effects and these problems that are going to be happening once you rolled your sleeves up and you followed along with protocol. But guess what? It's too late. Too late. You already submitted yourself, man. Nothing you can do about it. Just be prepared to collapse and die sooner or later, right? So that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. It's really happening. And that, like I said, I still got I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I still have like 7 more slides to go. But I wanted to touch on that eclipse too, and that's where I'm stopping now. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna finish the other 7 tomorrow. In addition to my class for closing Shabbat, man. So if you want to know, you want to finish up this DSTM, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Lord will, to close out the Shabbat. I'm gonna finish some of the other 7, and I'm gonna still have a closing lesson as well. All right, so I'm gonna just double back and do those. Make it easier to digest, man. I think we just hit maybe about 23, 24 articles right now. That's enough to digest for the evening. Y'all gonna double back tomorrow. Follow up if you missed some. Some of y'all tuned in a little late. Some ain't tuned in at all for the live. You're gonna watch it tomorrow. I know y'all looking because it depending on where you at. Some of y'all on the East Coast, some of y'all in London and the islands. It's 4 or 5 in the morning, 1 in the morning. Just hit 1 for some of y'all. Y'all like yawning and fighting the Sandman. Don't trip. Watch it tomorrow. Catch up, and I'm gonna close out tomorrow with the rest of the 7 slides, and I'm gonna finish up with a closing lesson as well, man. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while Yahweh Shai, man. Always remember, man, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and don't shoot the messenger. How about that? All right, y'all be well, man. Have a blessed evening, man. Lord willing, see y'all tomorrow. Shalom.